Hello everyone, I hope you have enjoyed conference so far and are looking forward to attending in 2021. Your support allows us to educate more women and girls year around. Please visit act.org to find out how to volunteer, join and mentor. To give a text, give a ACT TW to 44321. This session is how to make yourself or your startup on the internet presented by Magda Waterman. Magda has provides services to the government of Alberta, News, Intuitive, and other leading companies. Her articles are featured in MSN, Yahoo, and Finance News. She also has blogs on CNBC, Make It, HubSpot, and other high traffic sites. Let's get started. Over to you, Magda.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Makita Waterman, and thank you for the introduction. Today's topic is how to promote yourself in a marketing or a branding way, whether you're using social media, you're out and about, or you're doing some kind of a campaign to represent yourself as a social influencer, startup owner, or maybe an employee who has a lot of knowledge and experience in technology. So I'm just going to go over the brief subtitles that I'll be expanding more on. Knowing your audience, the social media apps that your audience is using, whether you decide to use video marketing or photos, that can be in the form of quotes, infographics, etc., and the importance of educating, entertaining people, and inspiring. So the first thing that I want to focus on is knowing your audience, and I say this because I myself, when I look at the back of my TikTok and Instagram, for example, it shows that about 45% of my audience are women, and the remaining portion of them are men. And they show me where they are located, potentially what their age is. So when I show up on a video or I'm doing some kind of a blog, I know exactly who I'm writing to. So if there's any way, each and every one of you, if you currently have Instagram, for example, or even if you use LinkedIn, I challenge each and every one of you to take a look at a recent post that you shared, whether it's an original piece of content or something that you shared that you were inspired by, and click the insights of that post. Take a look at what job titles are mostly of the individuals who are watching your content. Are they located in New York, Toronto, Melbourne, Australia? Take a look at also to what times are these people logging on? And I don't think we have access to that, unfortunately, on LinkedIn, but platforms such as youtube.com, Instagram, TikTok, for example, we can actually find out when most of our connections, our network, are logging on. And that's really prime too, because you want to share content when they're available. The last thing you want to do is take a couple of weeks and you're putting all of this effort into creating videos, infographics, or blogs, and you're posting them at the wrong time of the day when your audience is not online, and you're feeling frustrated thinking it has to be Instagram's fault, it has to be the algorithm, when in reality it could just be that you're sharing your videos and content at the wrong time. The importance too of studying and knowing your audience is, what do they like? And one of the ways that I find out what all of my audience across the board on any social media platform, or even the email contacts that receive my blogs, is I like to poll and send surveys. I do this very easily on my Instagram stories. I also do this on TikTok. There's an option, if each and every one of you have this, you can literally create a video and put a poll, and people can literally click the video and pick which topic they want to see from you. And I say that this is important because, again, the last thing you want to do is talk about SaaS or IoT or technology marketing, but your audience is really there hoping to hear what you do best at work or how to get started in the technology industry. And the only way that you can find that out is polling on LinkedIn, for example, putting surveys on your Instagram stories. You can also just randomly find out how people are responding to your content. So let's take, for example, I decide to talk about how I got started in technology when I first started working with the government of Alberta, for example, as a technical writer. And I get into this whole dialogue and videos and blog posts, sharing easy to understand content. What I can do if I'm doing that at least every day or every other day is, if I don't want to do polls, I would start to look and see how many people are liking these posts. Are people sharing these posts? Are people bookmarking these posts on Instagram? Are they commenting? And that's another way, if you don't know, or maybe you're not familiar with how to get into your insights, is to see how people are responding to your content. And are they just leaving emojis, or are they actually saying, wow, this inspired me, or I'm going to try that today? And test the market. Just like we all here in tech, we test things, we test for bugs, we test our audience, test your topics. Don't be afraid to take risks and go outside of the norm of what you're usually used to showing. Your audience is your key to creating high value content that they will share without you asking, and they will apply, and you never know who you're changing as far as a life or career perspective just by the responses that you get from your audience. The second point is social media apps. I always tell people, share content on the apps where your potential customer or audience is located. And just from the research that I did, a lot of consumers, I'll break that down for you. Consumers is just a fancy word of saying people who want to buy. They are actually living right now on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Surprisingly enough, a lot of us here on LinkedIn, LinkedIn came at the middle of about 20 different apps, and TikTok was at the bottom. That doesn't mean that you can't promote yourself and show your best skills and talent on these two other apps. But if you want to get found, get noticed, share inspirational content, and attract like-minded people for networking opportunities, potential clients, customers, or just inspire people, you should definitely be on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook if you have the time. It's really up to you. As soon as COVID-19 occurred, studies showed that social media usage went up between 20 to 50%. Now that a lot of us are back to work and back to business, and some of you on the line will be going back to school if you haven't already, a lot of people are consuming social media content versus watching television. So this is a prime opportunity to get on those apps, post content every day. I would recommend on LinkedIn, I share about 3 pieces of content. Instagram, 3 pieces of content and 6 to 9 stories every day. On Twitter, I don't do too much because it's oversaturated, but I do my best to do at least 5 pieces of tweets each day. On YouTube, because I'm doing an Instagram live marathon Monday through Friday, I share between 15 to 30-minute videos, 1 per day. And it's really up to you and how you want to go about running your business or your social influence on the internet. Now, there are 2 different methods that you can go about educating, entertaining, and inspiring people. That is through video or sharing photos. I myself, I like to do videos. I take some of my TikTok videos, the more educational videos, shall I say, and I do share them on LinkedIn, which is something I rarely see. And people love videos. Video marketing is the way to go. Now that a lot of us are spending a lot more time indoors, some people are feeling very isolated. So when they are on Instagram or LinkedIn and they see a live human being talking every day, it actually helps to improve your trust when it comes to networking. It makes people feel more comfortable with who you are because they constantly keep seeing your face show up in their timeline. And if you're doing it in a way where you're showing care and concern for your audience, it can really increase your leads if you have a startup. It can increase your speaking opportunities. I myself, again, I've been sharing multiple videos every single day on the platforms I've mentioned, and I haven't had more speaking opportunities in the last 5 months than I've ever had in my 6-year career of doing what I do best. So consider that. Photos, I like to use photos as well. I like to put my personal quotes on photos. I also like to put infographics, and I always make sure, as you may know, I like to make sure that the stock photo that I use or the template from canva.com, which is mostly free, that the picture, of course, it applies to what I'm talking about. I always make sure to share videos or wear clothes that are bright As you can see here, I'm wearing a floral top. If I wasn't wearing this cardigan, it would stand out like the sun in the sky. So try to make your images and your videos colorful and animated. Add GIFs to your photos if you can while you're doing your stories on Instagram or Facebook, for example, and try to make sure that you are capturing people's attention. If you're doing a video in the first 5 seconds, your photos, selfies are pretty popular on Instagram for whatever reason. So if you're comfortable with doing selfies, but again, creating some education, entertaining, or an inspirational message in your caption, that will help you a lot. And just have fun. You can even, if you have a video editor, you can even do a video series of, I'll give you an example. I did my quarantine 2020, how I dealt with quarantine. I literally just shared a few videos, a few photos, sorry, in the video of events that I went to and some selfies, and it got a lot of response on TikTok. I took that video, I put it on Instagram, and got a lot of responses. I took that same video and I put it on LinkedIn, and I think that was one of the most highest engaging pieces of content I've shared on LinkedIn. So give it a try. And then the last point is educate, entertain, and inspire. And some of you are wondering, how can I entertain somebody? I work in tech. I'm not a singer. I'm not a model. I am not an entertainer by far. But you'd be surprised of some of the quirky and funny moments in your career that you can share with people, some light moments that you can kind of mix in with the business or the career related topics to show people who you are, your personality, what inspires you. I'll give you an example. This morning, I woke up on TikTok and I saw a trending hashtag for garden, your garden. So I said, okay, I live in a condo. I don't have a garden, but I have houseplants. And so what I did was I just kind of said, everybody, hey, everyone, I love plants in my home. Take a look at my house plant journey. And I just started showing people my plants in my home, and I repurposed that video and I put it on Instagram. I might put it on LinkedIn tomorrow morning just to test it out and see how people respond. But this is an example of how you can entertain people with who you are. Inspiration, all of us know that. That can be you inspiring people by telling your story, why you started your startup, why you decided to get into machine learning, why you are passionate about artificial intelligence, and showing, again, photos of your journey from where you started, if you worked at this company, and how you look, dress, and act, and how much you know now. Education is, of course, showing up with tips and advice on what you do best. And some of you on the line might think to yourself, nobody cares about what I have to say. Oh, trust me. There is 7.5 billion people on this planet. You can correct me if I'm wrong with the numbers, but there is a market out there for everybody. There are a group of people on this planet that care what you have to say. So never hesitate or doubt yourself. I used to be that person that doubted myself around this time last year. And as a businesswoman who markets herself in the tech space and other industries, I cannot limit myself to hiding from social media, from even being here today and telling you what I am very passionate about, because I know at least some of you on this line will walk away and apply some of these steps, and you might see an improved experience with your networking, your business, attracting leads, attracting clients, even attracting friendships. You never know what any of these things that I had just applied can bring into your life. Some of you might experience more than what you've ever expected. So I will stop talking and open up the floor. If anybody has any questions at all, please let me know. I'm definitely here to answer any of the questions that you have.
You can unmute yourself for any of the questions.
Yes. And yes, please, everybody, if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, I think I've covered most of what I needed to say. I suppose the last thing I can leave everybody with is We're in the middle of 2020. We have about 4 months left. If there's anything that you want to do that you were maybe nervous to do the beginning of this new era that we're living in, I really hope that you can do it now. I was that person that was afraid to get in front of a camera. I was that person that I didn't want to show my face on social media. I'm an introvert by nature, and I just did not want to be that person. But my goodness, I wish I did this 6 years ago. I really do, because I feel like I would have been able to grow my business more. I probably would have been able to do more things with my life if I had pushed myself to be more in the mindset of branding myself and helping people on the internet, especially in a time like today where so many people are going through so many different changes. And if you're doing this for your business, that's great, but also try to remember there are people out there who wish they had someone like you to stand in front of a camera or share photos and education on the internet. A lot of people have to pay people for their advice, but if you can just give general advice on the internet for free, and do that every day if you can, and you'll be surprised how far your life will go in the span of months, let alone a year, if you do it 365 days and you're committed and passionate to do it. I'm going to be transparent with you in the beginning. If some of you are going to do this, this is the first time you're doing it, it might feel like crickets. There will be times where you're putting out content and no one's liking. You see the views, but no one is liking and engaging with your content, and that is completely normal. It's human behavior for people to take a step back from a new face and kind of watch them as they go, and make sure that they're consistent and make sure they really are an expert, because as you know, many people come on the internet and say they're things that they're not. But if you notice crickets and people are not responding to your content, that is normal human behavior. Please don't take it personal. These people just really want to know who you are, and if you are consistent, if you really are showing up for them because you care for the best interest versus trying to make a sale or trying to get a new job, for example. Be consistent, keep going, ask questions in your captions. People will only respond to you if you ask a question. Make it more about them than about you, and just have fun. That's the best advice that I could tell you if you're going to start going on the internet, marketing yourself and sharing with the world what you do best. And I hope that this conversation inspires each and every one of you. And yeah, that's all I have to say at this moment.
Definitely, it was a wonderful session. Any questions, anyone?
This was so helpful. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you.